Imagine a small desert kingdom surrounded by conflict, where every decision could mean war or peace, and yet it stands firm, not with the loudest weapons, but with the quiet strength of wisdom and survival. This is the story of Jordan, a nation whose military history is not just about battles, but about becoming a guardian of stability in a region torn by storms. In 1948, following the withdrawal of British forces from Palestine and the declaration of the State of Israel, the First Arab-Israeli War broke out. Jordan, then known as the Hashemite Kingdom of Transjordan, joined a coalition of Arab countries including Egypt, Syria, Lebanon and Iraq to intervene in Palestine. Their stated aim was to support the Palestinian Arab population and oppose the establishment of a Jewish state. King Abdullah I of Jordan had deeper ambitions, particularly concerning the West Bank, which he sought to incorporate into his kingdom. The Jordanian Arab Legion, considered one of the most organized and well-trained Arab forces at the time, played a significant role in the fighting, particularly in Jerusalem and the surrounding areas. Fierce battles were fought over key locations, such as the Old City of Jerusalem and Latron. While other Arab armies suffered setbacks, Jordan's forces managed to secure control over the West Bank and East Jerusalem. These areas were later annexed by Jordan in 1950, a move recognized only by a few countries. The annexation brought hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees under Jordanian control and fundamentally altered the kingdom's demographic and political makeup. The war also intensified regional tensions, laid the groundwork for future conflicts, and entrenched divisions between Arab states and Israel. For Jordan, the conflict marked both a military success and a long-term challenge. It expanded the country's territory significantly, but also embroiled it in the broader Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The legacy of the war remained central to Jordan's foreign and domestic policies for decades. The newly drawn armistice lines, particularly the Green Line, separating Israel from the West Bank, became symbols of division and dispute across the region. The events of 1948 would echo through Jordan's history, shaping its military identity and role in regional politics. In 1956, King Hussein of Jordan made a bold and transformative decision to Arabize the command structure of the Jordanian armed forces. At that time, many top positions in the army were held by British officers, a remnant of British influence dating back to the colonial mandate period. The most prominent of these was Glubb Pasha Sir John Bogot, Glubb, a British general who had served as the commander of the Arab Legion for decades and was seen as a symbol of foreign control over Jordan's military affairs. Although Glubb was respected by many within the military and had played a key role in organizing and training Jordan's forces, his continued leadership posed challenges to Jordanian sovereignty and national identity. On March 1, 1956, King Hussein abruptly dismissed Glubb and other senior British officers, replacing them with Jordanian commanders. This surprise move was met with widespread national support and sparked a sense of pride and independence among Jordanians. The Arabization policy was not merely a political gesture. It represented a shift in control over the country's defense, and a step toward asserting full autonomy in military and governmental affairs. The decision was risky, given the geopolitical tensions of the time and Jordan's reliance on British military aid. However, King Hussein's calculated action helped bolster his legitimacy and authority within the country and across the Arab world. It also laid the foundation for the professional development of a truly national army, one that would serve the interests of Jordan rather than outside powers. The Arabization process became a pivotal moment in Jordanian history, reinforcing the young king's image as a determined and sovereign leader. It also marked a turning point in the modernization of Jordan's military structure and in its broader national identity. In June 1967, Jordan became involved in the Six-Day War, a short but intense conflict between Israel and several Arab nations, including Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. The war was sparked by rising tensions in the region, including the closure of the Straits of Tiran to Israeli shipping by Egypt and the mobilization of Arab forces along Israel's borders. Despite King Hussein's initial hesitation, he eventually entered the war after receiving misleading information from Egypt, which claimed that their forces were successfully engaging Israeli troops. Believing that victory was near, and under pressure to show solidarity with other Arab nations, Jordan launched attacks on West Jerusalem and Israeli-held areas. In response, Israel quickly counterattacked, targeting Jordanian military positions in East Jerusalem, the West Bank, and along the Jordan Valley. Within days, Israeli forces overwhelmed the Jordanian army, capturing East Jerusalem and the entire West Bank, territories that Jordan had controlled since 1948. The loss was a major blow to Jordan politically, militarily, and emotionally, particularly because of the deep historical and religious ties to Jerusalem. The war displaced a large number of Palestinians, many of whom fled to Jordan, adding to the already significant refugee population. King Hussein faced both domestic pressure and regional criticism for the military defeat and the loss of these territories. The war also significantly altered the balance of power in the region and intensified the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. For Jordan, the aftermath involved re-evaluating its role in regional politics, addressing internal instability, and managing the consequences of absorbing a new wave of displaced Palestinians. The Six-Day War left a lasting impact on Jordan's national identity and security policies, setting the stage for future diplomatic and military strategies in its efforts to reclaim lost land and maintain internal unity. In 1970, a major internal conflict erupted in Jordan between the Jordanian Armed Forces and the Palestinian Liberation Organization (PLO), an event that came to be known as Black September. After the 1967 Six-Day War, large numbers of Palestinian refugees and fighters had taken refuge in Jordan, and the PLO had begun establishing a strong presence within the country. Over time, the PLO operated with increasing autonomy, setting up checkpoints, collecting taxes, and even launching attacks into Israel from Jordanian territory. This undermined the authority of King Hussein's government and posed a direct threat to Jordan's sovereignty. Tensions escalated throughout 1970, marked by frequent clashes between PLO fighters and Jordanian forces, and a series of assassination attempts on King Hussein. Matters worsened in September when the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, PFLP, a faction of the PLO, hijacked multiple international airplanes and brought them to Jordan, drawing global attention and prompting the king to act decisively. On September 16, King Hussein declared martial law and launched a military campaign to expel the PLO from Jordan. The fighting was intense and often took place in urban areas, especially in the capital Amman and surrounding towns. Thousands of people, including civilians, were killed or injured during the clashes. Syria briefly intervened by sending tanks into northern Jordan to support the Palestinians, but they withdrew under pressure, including from the United States and Israel. After several weeks of bloodshed, the Jordanian army regained control, and the PLO leadership was forced to relocate to Lebanon in 1971. The events of Black September severely damaged relations between Jordan and the Palestinian movement and had lasting political consequences. The conflict also reshaped Jordan's internal policies, tightening control over political activity and reaffirming the monarchy's dominance over military and national affairs. In 1994, Jordan made a historic move by signing a peace treaty with Israel, formally ending a state of war that had existed since 1948. This significant development followed decades of hostility, multiple wars, and regional instability. The breakthrough was made possible by a shift in the regional political climate after the end of the Cold War, and especially following the 1993 Oslo Accords between Israel and the Palestine Liberation Organization. Encouraged by the United States and other international actors, King Hussein of Jordan and Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin agreed to engage in direct negotiations. The peace treaty was officially signed on October 26, 1994, in a ceremony held in the Arava Valley near the Jordan-Israel border. Witnessed by US President Bill Clinton and attended by international dignitaries. The treaty covered a range of important issues, including the establishment of diplomatic relations, security cooperation, water-sharing agreements, and trade. It also addressed the legal status of land and borders, with both nations recognizing each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. For Jordan, the treaty helped stabilize its western border and opened up opportunities for economic development, including foreign aid and increased international investment. It also positioned Jordan as a moderate and stabilizing force in the Middle East. However, the peace was not without controversy. Many Jordanians and other Arabs viewed it as premature, given that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict remained unresolved. The agreement faced opposition from Islamist groups and segments of the public who felt it compromised the Palestinian cause. Despite these challenges, the treaty has endured and remains a cornerstone of Jordan's foreign policy. It marked a dramatic shift in the kingdom's military and diplomatic posture, moving from confrontation to cooperation, and reflected King Hussein's vision of securing Jordan's long-term interests through peaceful coexistence and regional integration. In the modern era, Jordan has emerged as a key stabilizing force in the Middle East, maintaining a strong and professional military, while carefully navigating complex regional dynamics. The Jordanian armed forces, known for their discipline and training, have evolved into one of the most respected military institutions in the Arab world. With support from Western allies, especially the United States, Jordan has developed capabilities in counterterrorism, intelligence, and rapid response operations. Its strategic location, bordering conflict-prone areas such as Syria, Iraq, and the West Bank, has placed the kingdom in a pivotal position in regional security affairs. Jordan has consistently participated in international coalitions, contributing troops and resources to peacekeeping missions and anti-terror operations, particularly during the global campaign against ISIS. Its military worked closely with allies to secure borders and prevent the spread of extremist groups into Jordanian territory. Internally, the military plays a central role in national stability, supporting civil authorities during times of crisis and maintaining readiness in the face of potential threats. Jordan also acts as a mediator and partner in regional diplomacy, often serving as a bridge between Western powers and Arab nations. Despite economic limitations and domestic pressures, the country has maintained a careful balance between security and diplomacy, preserving peace agreements while advocating for Palestinian rights and regional cooperation. The military's role extends beyond defense, involving humanitarian missions and disaster response, both at home and abroad. Jordan's commitment to moderation and cooperation has earned it recognition as a dependable ally in a volatile region. Through modernization programs and continued investment in training and equipment, the Jordanian armed forces remain prepared to confront emerging threats. This enduring stability and responsible military posture have made Jordan a cornerstone of security in the Middle East. Valued for its professionalism, loyalty to the monarchy, and contribution to regional peace. In looking back at the military history of Jordan, we see a nation that has endured conflict, made bold decisions, and continuously sought a path of balance between strength and peace. From the battles of 1948 to the bold Arabization of its army, from the heartbreak of the 1967 war to the painful lessons of Black September, Jordan has emerged with resilience and a deeper understanding of its role in a turbulent region. The Peace Treaty of 1994 marked a turning point, not just diplomatically, but in Jordan's identity as a voice of moderation. Today, its modern military stands not only as a shield for its people, but as a symbol of cooperation and responsibility in a world that still yearns for peace. Jordan's journey reminds us that while history is often shaped by war, the future can still be written in peace, strength, and wisdom.